And someone asked the question about, again, the question of will you support, to allow your supporters to support Hillary Clinton in the general, and he said, this is a movement, and it's not the kind of movement where I can snap my fingers and people will do what I say. He said, you shouldn't do what I say.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, to be fair, it was a Bernie supporter.
Yeah.
And he wasn't saying you should tell your... He was just, what are you going to do?
Right.
I think every Bernie Sanders supporter wants to know what he's going to do. And it was somewhat mixed message. So in that first answer, he said, I can't just tell them what to do. But in that second answer, the one right before we went to the break, he said, I'm going to do whatever it takes to not have a Republican elected.
Right.
So that you could read that as, I'll run a third-party campaign. You could read that as all sorts of things.
I would much rather prefer he say, a poll came out today where I think Hillary Clinton is...
she was only up 3
points to
over
Donald Trump. So if you
he was still double digits.
If you people are really afraid of losing to Donald Trump, I would recommend you vote for me and not support Hillary Clinton. That's what I would say. So, because that's...
Oh, I'm sure he'll say that tonight.
I have the same goal as Hillary. I want to defeat the Republicans. She can't do it. That's what he should say.
I think what I would have liked is if he had started saying that much earlier. But thankfully, he has been saying that in recent debates. I'm sure that he's going to talk about those polls at some point tonight.
But that's not what he just said now.
No, not right now, but he's being forced to. And look, I think you can ask questions like this. I would prefer that they not be like the first 3 questions.
I totally agree.
But eventually, they're going to get to his advantages that he has over Hillary Clinton. And I guarantee he's going to talk about those polls.
Well, okay.
How could you not? Especially because, look, he's still winning by double digits, which he's been doing for a long time. But it's her gap that's been getting smaller.
Yes.
Which is scary.
Every time he gets asked that question, I would either answer it that way or this way. It's like, this is way too early to even talk about. We're going to win this primary. And how about we talk about this at the convention?
Yeah.
Who we're going to support. That's what a convention's for. And that's all really premature.
Just say, I'll give a couple minutes over to it at my first State of the Union. How about that? That would be a good way to respond.
That was a good way to. That would be a great way, and you don't have to, because you don't have to answer that. By the way, I mentioned it in the show today. I want to mention it again. If you add up the delegates from the states that have already voted, those same states, when Barack Obama ran in 2008, Bernie has more delegates from those states than Barack Obama did. So it's because we all know that the states they don't always vote in the same order in the primaries.
Yeah, it gets swapped around.
So if you look at the states that have already voted, Bernie has more of those delegates than Barack Obama had. We all know Bernie didn't. It was tighter for him in New York than it was for Barack.
Yeah.
Even though, and remember, Hillary has won 2 out of the last 10 primaries, and both of those are under investigation. So I say she didn't even win those.
Yeah, I just did a video about the New York, the GOP clerk. There's multiple areas of the New York voter suppression that need to be looked into. This was just one thing that happened in Brooklyn. And 125,000 people just taken off of the voter rolls by a mistake.
By a mistake.
It's a mistake. You press a button, you delete a bunch of Democrats. It happens.